Alrighty, the boys have their Latas and their pepper, and JT is taking the fleece and throwing it all over outside, and then we're throwing that in the wash. So they are gonna be set. Okay, I don't know which one we want to play next. Let me just it's 10:45. I don't know if we want to do the Animal Crossing looking one. Snood does not count. A doll, like a spooky doll visual novel. Or the cafe, or the Bug Cafe one. Or Bonnie's Bakery. Oh no. Frick? Really? Tylenose, really? Oh my gosh. I don't know if anybody has a preference. Oh no, I'm gonna have to look at it. I vote Creepy Dolls. We could do Creepy Dolls. I don't mind Creepy Dolls. We could do Creepy Dolls. I feel like Ilya would like the aesthetic of that one. Heck. I don't even know how creepy. Again, I'm just kind of going off what I saw on the itchio pages. Oh, Jabur. Tylenose just had to redeem this now. Tylenose just had to use those points for something. Oh, that was blue! That wasn't purple! I messed up. I messed up. I thought that was a different color. I don't know why. Oh no, I messed up. I super messed up. It was an accident. Heck, that didn't do what I wanted it to do. That did what I wanted it to do. Heck, wouldn't fit. This is true terror. Heck! Messing up my shots here. You're fine with dolls? We can do dolls. I'll pull up the doll. I don't know if we'll be able to see all the endings tonight, but I'm also streaming tomorrow this week, so we can always continue. Because there may not be a stream on Thursday, only because JT and I are going to the FNAF movie. And we got tickets for Thursday, so I don't know if I'll be back in time, necessarily. I don't know if it's going to be too late. I'm going to try, but I can't guarantee Thursday. Hi.
We're going to FNAF.
Yes, I just told everybody we're going to FNAF on Thursday.
It's going to be 6:45 to like 9.
Yeah, and then the drive back home. And also trailers. I messed up. Oh, I messed up.
Okay,
Heck!
so it's only an hour and 50 minutes.
Oh, for some reason I thought it was 2.5 hours for some reason. Why did I think it was longer?
It's gonna end at like 8:30.
For some reason I thought the movie was longer. JT, give her Snood tips.
It's probably gonna end at like 8:30. Can't give her Snood tips. I can only give her Final Girl tips.
We're not playing Final Girl. Is there a Final Girl version of Snood? Just tell the developers. Making me play Snood. We could be doing dolls. Heck, we messed up. I kind of messed up too much, and that was the wrong color again. Wow, good going, me. I messed up royally. Why have I been doing that? Wow. This round was good until this whole area happened. Well, it was a good run. It was somewhat of a good run. until Okami made all the silly mistakes. Nope, I thought I would get lucky. Nope, that did not save this run. Well, she tried. I tried so hard and I got so far. And in the end, it didn't even matter. Okay. I guess Tylenos is going on the leaderboard. Number 8. There you go. Okay. They couldn't be more obviously ripping off Willy's Wonderland. Listen, fight me. They got frickin' Shaggy himself, Stu from Scream, Matthew Lillard. Look, you got like some. I'm just like, my hands are up. As soon as you mentioned that man, my hands are up because he's good at what he does. All right, let me get this game up. Let me search for the category. Oh my gosh. So I think this is it. Okay. Visual novel horror. That looks like it. Okay. Why is the category still candy scabs? I definitely changed that. Here we go. Done. All right, it stayed that time. Good. All right, let's pull this up. Application. Windows, it's okay. You can run this. Oh, I know, Rob. I know. I'm also messing with you. I knew you were messing. You're okay. Oh, I just have to capture the game and pull up the game on OBS. Here we go. This is Don't Toy With Me, which is another spoopy, cute-looking horror visual novel. We're gonna go in, like I said last time, I'm just gonna see what happens for the first run. Light spills through the tiny windows of the dollhouse, catching the flecks of dust in the air. Hi, Mixaria. How are you doing, hun? Oh, though I can't read. Though it's early in the morning, the inhabitants have been awake for a little while now. It's to be expected that toys wouldn't have quite the same grasp on time as you do, like Toy Story logic. Whisker, you've hardly touched your tea. Her, least of all, she's an antique. You could at least pretend to drink it, since I went to the trouble of making it. The stuffed rabbit sits at the table, a frown on its embroidered face. It turns its head away from the cup in defiance. Geez, you're so moody lately. I know it's not terribly fun to be stuck alone here with me, but you're not doing yourself any favors by being difficult. Don't you think we should be making the best of it? I really wish you'd let me cut you a mouse so you could try to hold a conversation. The rabbit scurries off across the wooden floor and down the stairs. Dahlia sighs. It was only a suggestion. I'm not going to force you. I suppose that's another cup down the drain then. Oh, I miss you too, hun. I'm sorry. I usually don't stream on the weekends. And then I was supposed to stream yesterday, but I was just having a lot of stress and anxiety over the past weekend. I just slept so hard yesterday. Dahlia gathers up the teacup and saucer from the floor to take down to the kitchen. Though Whisker has been in the house for a while with her now, he has always been terribly skittish. The kitchen holds the rest of the tea set, always ready for a hypothetical tea party that thus far hadn't come to fruition. The rabbit wasn't about to sit at the table with her. Thinking back on it, she has trouble recalling who it was that used to sit there with her. You're listening right now, aren't you? I'm clearly certain I can hear you out there. Wait, is this me? Tap. I'm gonna tap. The sound of large fingers gently tapping nails on the outside of the house answer her question. She smiles softly. There you are. Maybe you could join me. I'm not sure how you would fit in here with me, but I would welcome you anyway. Perhaps you could let me outside. I would sit on the roof to be closer to you. You know better than to give her her way on that. The cracks on her face tell the story of a previous excursion outside of the house. She is met with silence. Her smile holds patiently for all of 10 seconds. Fine, then I won't be entertaining you either. If the urge to be reasonable finds you, I'll be reading in my room. She storms out of the kitchen and up the stairs. You decide to give her some time to cool off while you leave to run an errand. You have a feeling she'll lighten up when you retrieve your new purchase. Oh, feel that? I kind of slept most of today. Aw, but like, hon, I hope you feel recharged at least after that. I always say if you're feeling tired, your body's telling you you're tired, you should recharge if you can. The dollhouse is a little bit cleaner than it was this morning. Dahlia has spent some time dusting and picking up. She prefers her home spotless, or at least she used to. Now it seems she settles for clean enough, and she never bothers with the attic anymore. She idly straightens the decorations atop her wardrobe in her room. A heavy thump quickly undoes this. What? She turns, looking around in surprise. Hesitantly, she peers out of her bedroom door and down the stairs. Whisker is already in the foyer, investigating. What is it? She descends the stairs, delicate joints clicking with each step. She finds the large box taking up the entryway. Oh my, a new person? Oh no, a present. Her eyes light up with interest, running her fingers over the wooden exterior. There's a quirk to her brow when she realizes it's cheap compressed wood. Something new then? Whisker presses his ear to the side of the box. He hops back away when he hears a call from inside, hiding behind Dahlia. What is it? She searches around the lid, unable to quite pull it up. She finally finds the hook on the other side and undoes it from the small peg that holds the lid shut. She practically throws the lid open, a bright smile on her face. Oh, Whisker, look! A new friend! Is he dead? I'm not dead. Oh, good! The clown in the box hangs limply when Dahlia drags him out of the box by his shirt. Oh my gosh. Oh, you all deserve hugs. Honestly, had the worst mental breakdown you've had in a while, so the last few days haven't been very easy. Today was just a, hey, I feel better, so let's just rest up. I hope the rest helped. Honestly, I know. Gosh, those days are the absolute worst, but a good rest always does. It helps a little bit, you know. At least, you know, you kind of feel worse when you're tired. When you're well rested, at least you have a little bit of energy, right? I'm so sorry though, hon. I hope this is a way better week for you. And Tyler knows too, because I love you. You're a bean. Dahlia like Dahlia. Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice that until now, Rob. Oh my gosh. She's surprised to find that he's mostly fabric with the little structure underneath. His sleeves are half empty, tied at the seams with a ruffle. All in all, his head is solid, but his body is plush. Hello, new friend. My name is Dahlia, and this is my friend, Whisker. The rabbit's ears lie back, looking none too friendly. He keeps his distance. I'm sorry for all the excitement. It's just been so long since we've had a new toy. Well, not had. Obviously, we don't have you. What are you, actually? Oh, where on earth are my manners? What do you go by, friend? No, I don't go by friend. And I'm a puppet. My name is Huxley. Huxley? How nice. And a puppet. Why, that does explain it. Oh, let me take you to a chair. I shouldn't be holding you, the whole time like a little bear. With Huxley comfortably, situated in his chair at the table, Dahlia sits opposite him. She's all smiles, even though the clown looks so sullen. Here, have some tea. Oh, can you hold the cup? Have a silly straw. Thanks. Despite the thanks, the clown doesn't make any move to drink the tea. Are you all right, Huxley? I don't expect you to be quite as excited as me, but you look so upset. I'm not upset, but what's there to be excited for? You've taken me out of a box, and here I am to sit in another box. Out of the box! Out of the box! Sorry, that just came into my head. The only difference is that I'm not the only one in this box. But that makes all the difference, doesn't it? I do enjoy watching Whisker, but he's not one for conversation. And now this won't be such a lonely place. What do you want to do? I'll show you that there's fun to have here. I don't want anything, thanks. Oh. Well, surely that isn't true. Everyone wants something. Do you want some quiet? We could lie on the floor and watch the star projector. If that's what you'd like to do. No, we're trying to find something you want to do. Do you want to tell jokes? You are a clown. If you'd like. Did you hear about the clown car that crashed out in the middle of nowhere? There were 30 casualties. I don't think I get that one. I'll try again. What do you get when you boil a clown? A laughing stock. Oh, that's so funny. Clown soup. I bet it would have polka dots too. Oh, let me try. A clown named Pagilachi goes to see a therapist. Oh, darn it, I messed it up. You're a funny lady, Dahlia. Oh, you smiled. Oh, don't just stop because I pointed it out. I'll start getting the idea you're determined to sulk. Sorry. I just haven't told any jokes in a while. No audience unless I just brought out just for that. So I stopped. What's the point? The point of telling jokes? The point of coming up with jokes if I only get to tell them when someone gives me the time of day. I don't like being a puppet. The only choice I get is to not participate. So I started doing that, opting out. Oh, so you just don't do anything? Nothing I don't want to do. Which I don't want to do much lately, so... kind of. He looks uncomfortable at the direction of the conversation. It's clear he hasn't had to explain himself at length before, especially when so withdrawn from everything. Dahlia, on the other hand, is clearly mulling this idea over in her head. Do you think you'd want to do more if you could get around better on your own? Since then you could go where you like and not have to wait for someone to bring you here. There, everywhere. That would make things easier for me. No offense, but I don't think I'd want you stitching anything onto me if that's what you're thinking. Oh, why? Are you just assuming I'd be bad at it? I choose to keep my answer to myself. That wasn't what I was thinking about anyway. Wait here for just a moment. I'll try not to go anywhere. Dahlia leaves the kitchen, hurrying off back to the foyer. Okay, let me catch up with chat. Definitely helped between being sick with this cold and just the time of year. It was just quadruple combo. I know you weren't feeling good. Has the cold gotten any better, hun? I hope it has. Oh no, you're gonna have to remember that one. No, darn it! This game gave Rob ideas. Darn it. She stands near the box Huxley arrived in and looks up, her gaze aimless as though she isn't quite sure of where to look. Hello up there. I imagine you're still watching, yes? Thank you for sending me a new friend. I know I've asked for one a lot, but I'm afraid I need to ask for something else. I'm sorry for asking so soon after receiving this gift, but it isn't for me, so I hope that might make up for it. So do you think perhaps you could give me something to help Huxley move? Perhaps wheels or a wooden skeleton? It's our only option. Help. You suppose there couldn't be any harm in it? If the puppet is really so broken that it can't even keep her company, it doesn't do much good, does it? It will have to be a modification so simple that even the toys can figure it out, though. You have an idea. Surely with only a single item to work with, she'll understand what needs to be done. You place your gift in the box Huxley had arrived in. Dahlia looks on in surprise as she sees a large spring in the box. Oh, yes, this is perfect. Thank you so much. She eagerly plucks her prize from the container, needing both hands to carry it. It's as long as her legs at the very least. Seeing as it's a bit unwieldy, perhaps it isn't the best idea to bring it near the tea set. She ends up leaving it behind and fetching Huxley instead. It takes the pair a few minutes to figure out the logistics of the attachment, but in the end, it is sewn securely to the opening of Huxley's body. He takes a moment to get used to balancing on the spring. He's like a spoink! I love it. The point of telling jokes is to inflict pain on your audience. Rob. The point of telling jokes is to make your audience laugh with delight, not to inflict pain on them. Otherwise I've been streaming all wrong these past few years.
Grady says this ought to put a spring in his step.
Because he's on a spring now. Thank you, Rob. This is certainly different. He's got an Eeyore vibe. I don't know why. I think I'm getting the hang of it, though. The stairs will take some practice. That's what the railing is for. At least until you get better at jumping. Perhaps soon you'll be able to leap from landing to the upper doorway in one go. She laughs at the idea, but he seems to be seriously considering it. Perhaps so. Everything else is upstairs, right? What about the back room? More stairs, unfortunately. That's the doorway to the attic. And what's up there? More stairs? The ceiling, silly. And some old odds and ends. Some things just don't really have a place in the house. But they still have to go somewhere. Perhaps we could eventually convert it into a bedroom for you. Your cruelty knows no bounds, Lady Dahlia. Making a man able to jump, then putting him in a room with a low ceiling. I didn't mean... I know, I'm only teasing you. For someone who kept me wanting to lighten up, you sure aren't good at recognizing a joke. Oh, don't tease me, but I'm happy to see you in much better spirits. I am. I've never had something like this. Oh, is this really okay? What do you mean? Nothing. I don't like being a puppet, so I don't know why I should feel odd about becoming something else. Like a jack-in-the-box? I would never. I mean to say, I'm not getting back in that box. Of course not, but you will have to sleep somewhere. And I suppose the box can stay here in the foyer. You can make it into a table or use it as a chest. I just don't want to have to carry it up to the attic. Whatever you want to do with it, it's not mine. But yeah, I guess this makes me a jack out of the box. Which I'd also never do. Dahlia tilts her head in confusion once more. Huxley spares her any explanation of the joke. I'm actually feeling a little fidgety now. I think I want to give the stairs a try. Will you show me the rest of the house if I make it up? Of course, and if you can't, I'll carry you up. I'll make it up even if I have to drag myself up. Just, maybe go stand out of the way just in case. With some time and effort and a couple of paintings knocked off the wall, Huxley manages to make his way up the stairs. Dahlia feels perhaps a few new cracks were added to her face from the worry with which she watched when he twice spilled backwards down the stairs. Luckily, the clown was not so delicate as she was. He bounced like rubber. Perhaps that's what he was made of. The thought remains in her mind that she'll have to remind her new friend that she is much more fragile than he is. But for now, she hurries up after him to congratulate him and show him around the upper floor. The linen closet isn't exactly a room, but it's important to show regardless. The bathroom is of slightly more importance, of course, though perhaps less important than it would have been in a real house. Huxley notes a lingering smell of paint and powders in the bathroom. It must be where Dahlia... Oh no. Oh, it kind of cuts so I can't read it. And lastly, Dahlia brings him to her bedroom. I don't think I've ever had anyone in here before. Well, aside from Whisker. You don't think so? Where is that little guy anyway? I'm kind of expecting him to join us for the tour. Oh, don't mind him. He's so jumpy these days. I couldn't even tell you why. Perhaps he's less confident with other plush animals around. Did there used to be more? I can't seem to recall. I know I knew a teddy bear once. Perhaps he was a friend of Whisker's? She frowns, brows furrowed in concentration. Huxley watches on with concern. Is remembering things a regular problem for you, Dahlia? In a sense, I suppose it is. Very little changes in the house, so the days tend to blend together. If I have trouble remembering something, I'd be hard-pressed to know whether it's due to forgetfulness or because it happened longer ago than I realize. I've recently started writing in my journal again, though, so that should help with more recent days. I wasn't sure where it was for a while. I'll have to really make good use of it now that I have it again. This sounds like a plan. And if I get curious, I could always read up on what I missed before I got here. Absolutely not. I keep it locked so you couldn't even if you wanted to. Just another joke, Dahlia. I wouldn't read your diary. You'd better not. Now, what was I going to show you in here? Oh, I wanted to show you here in my wardrobe. I keep my dresses here, but it's full of mini games as well. You can feel free to help yourself to any of them if you find yourself looking for something to play. I have my bookcase in here as well. I have all the classics. Pride and Prejudice, A Little Princess, Hans Christian Andersen's Fairy Tales collection. Quite the collection, Dahlia. Are you teasing me again? No, they're just very you. Except that one. The complete short stories of Edgar Allan Poe. A little bit of a gothic at heart, are you? I did say I love the classics. What about you, Mr. Know-It-All? You're making yourself sound rather well-read. I've just heard my share of bedtime stories in my day. And the others I've heard a little of in homework form. Ugh. I love it. I've had to Kill a Mockingbird read 50 times. Actually, you know, that kind of happened to me. I had to read that in both 8th grade and freshman year of high school, so back to back, so I was like, I just read this. But it did make things easier freshman year. I was like, well, I just read this. This is gonna be easy assignments. What, Rob? I don't get it. What did he do? Oh god, homework form anyway. I have to say, it hasn't made me the most bookish kind of guy. Except maybe joke books. Well, in your words, that's very you. There's no shame in it, but I warn you that you will eventually want to do some reading. Beggars can't be choosers for entertainment in this house. Though I'd be happy to read to you. I can see it now. I'll let you know if I have trouble falling asleep here, and maybe I could use it. It's refreshing to see Dahlia looking so lively again after so much time spent by herself in the dollhouse. She's had her problems in the past getting along with other toys, but the clown seems to be a good choice. Entertaining as a jester should be, but not so energetic that he would impose upon her lifestyle. She considers herself to be an elegant lady after all, and some wild fool would certainly find themselves met with friction when it came to living with her. Hopefully they continue to get along. In the following days they seem to adjust well enough. They play their games and have their tea together, and even Whisker seems to be more at ease with Huxley there. It's a point of concern in some ways. Hopefully the rabbit doesn't come to be too affectionate with the clown. But for now, it's happy days within the dollhouse. You find yourself watching them regularly. Today I can't read. It's cutting through again. Something about the sleeping area. I'm sorry we don't have a better place to keep a lot of these things, though I'm happy the bed is finally seeing some use. It's not too bad. The spiders have been keeping me company at night. Spiders? Well, probably just little mites. I have wondered about some of the things you keep up here, though. Don't just change the subject after mentioning spiders. Are there really spiders up here? No, I was only joking, Dahlia. You'd better be. Horrible creatures. Now, what were you wondering about? Well, I noticed some of these things seem out of place here. The paintings, sure, they make sense for you to have. But there are some old brass knickknacks in here that don't look like any of your other stuff. Like the big brass horse head. It's a knight. But you are right, it doesn't look familiar. And there's some old clothing up here. Oh, I really haven't cleaned up here in some time, but I didn't think there was anything but spare decor items. What sort of clothing is it? Well, I found some bow ties, like the formal kind, but not like my ribbon. And no offense to our dearest Lady Dahlia, but they wouldn't really suit you. Do they belong to Whisker? No, Whisker doesn't really have many belongings to speak of. Whisker shakes his head to confirm this. He only has the little bed in my room and a few little toys of his own. Though half the time he seems to prefer playing with balled up paper more than the things I make for him, literally like owning a cat. I bought you this thing. I bought you this really expensive cat toy. Cat proceeds to play with the empty box it came in. One doll's trash is a rabbit's treasure. I'm almost certain that's not how the phrase goes. Well, in any case, they seem like men's clothes to me. Though I did see some old hairbrushes and things as well. Not ones that matched your sets, though. Do you think some of this was left from whoever lived in the house before you? I suppose that's possible, though it seems stranger to me that the owner wouldn't remove such things before placing me here. Maybe the owner hoped for a more masculine doll. I'm sure I'm exactly what they were hoping for. They've had me this long after all. Well, the owner doesn't seem to be interested in doing much to your home regardless, so maybe they didn't bother with this. Or they're using your storage for their extra things. Oh, I hadn't considered that. And they get quiet at times, but that doesn't mean they lack interest. They love me, and I love them too. You two should get a room then. Or I guess a house. Oh hush, there's no need to be jealous, Huxley. I'm sure that they love you too. You wouldn't be living here if they didn't find something appealing about you. Must have been my sparkling personality, then. Perhaps it was. Right. Well, I don't have any doubts that they're just tossing me in here for your sake if they really love you so much. How do you mean? Well, you've told me a few times just how lovely it is here without someone to have conversations with. And here I am. Oh, well, I am happy you're here, but I doubt it's just for me. It's all the same to me. So long as they leave me be, I'm just fine. Did I just accidentally... Oh no. Gosh darn it. He said Jack out of the box, which I'd also never do. Maybe it's just because I was making a box and you... Oh, okay. I did not try the scroll wheel. I'm gonna have to try the scroll wheel next time. Oh, hold on. What did you say, Tyler? Why is Coco in baby jail? Get him out of there. What did he do wrong? Oh, that's just silly, Huxley. I know you'd enjoy their attention if you got it. Doubt it. Such a sourpuss. I suppose we'll find out the next time they do decide to check in on us regardless. I'll be holding my breath until then. The conversation comes to a stop as the pair go back to cleaning, but it leaves you with some thinking to do. It has been a little time since you initially purchased the clown, so you've had a little time to get to know more about him. More so than you could have known taking him off of the shelf. At this point... Oh, guys, who's your favorite? It's an ad break anyway, so I don't want to choose, but I want to know what everyone's leaning towards. Oh my gosh. I apologize. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time reading. Whisker is not a choice. I love Whisker too. Whisker is also my favorite, but unfortunately, he's not a choice. But anytime you give me a bunny, that's just my choice right there. Honestly. Oh my gosh, so also, I'm finally playing Usagi Shima. Because, you know, so my mother is with T-Mobile now. So I'm on that, you know, my plan, which meant my plan got switched over too, and they offered like a new phone that came, and I was like, okay, so I got a new phone. I actually got a OnePlus and I'm really liking it. But because my S8 was so old, oh, I gotta remind JT we need to factory reset that and send it to them. Because it was so old, it couldn't even run Usagi Shima. And I was like, oh my gosh, crying the entire time ever since the Wholesome Direct because I wanted to play it. Now I can play it on the new phone. And every time I get that notification that a bunny is there, like a bunny is there, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so good. I can't wait to decorate my whole bunny island. It's like one of the best mobile games ever. It's so cute. Okay. I guess I gotta pick one of them, so I'm gonna do a quick save and then close out of that. That closed the game. I didn't realize. Good thing I saved. Whoops. Here we go. Back to the okay. I didn't realize that was gonna go me. I'm gonna go right now just because of the sarcasm. He's dripping with it sometimes. It would be a lie to say that the clown wasn't growing on you. Though at first you did only bring him to the dollhouse in order to provide Dahlia with some company, he's a funny little guy in his own right. Even if not always through his jokes. You'll have to start thinking of some ways to make him feel more welcome in the house now that you know Dahlia will be able to get along with him. Things are fairly peaceful in the dollhouse for some time after. You check on the toys from time to time, a little more frequently than you would when it was only Dahlia and Whisker in the house. Oh, okay. That's what scrolling does. Figured that out. It's more active than it has been in some time, so there's more to see going on. You decide you'll be adding some new things for them from time to time to keep up this level of activity. Try that piece in the bottom right there. Whisker leans forward against the table to move one of the pieces of the jigsaw puzzle. You always start with the corners, though. That's just like, I feel like that's an unspoken jigsaw puzzle rule. His little paws nudge it carefully down to fit within its place. Okay, that's part of the red costume. That's why the color was so different. Oh, what are you two up to in here? Hey, Dahlia. Whisker was just helping me with this puzzle. I tried by myself, but you know me. Butterfingers. Huxley says this as he extends one of his digitless stump arms before lowering it again. Oh yes, I see. I really enjoy puzzles too. You should have told me. I would be happy to help. You were reading, so I didn't want to bother you about it. Plus, I think Whisker likes puzzles. The rabbit perks up at this, confirming the statement. Dahlia's demeanor changes at this. Something about this is bothering her. Whisker never wanted to do puzzles with me. He never wants to sit on my lap like that either. Actually, where did you get this? I don't remember seeing this puzzle before. You haven't? I found it in the foyer today. I assume you'd left it out. I don't leave my things lying around. It must be new. How odd. The owner always brings new gifts to my attention. I guess it was for me then. I don't think it's much your style anyway. Dahlia moves a little closer to the table to look at the illustration on the puzzle's box. It features a group of circus performers putting on a show in front of a drably dressed audience. Their costumes are bright and colorful against the muted background. The only full character in the puzzle they've put together so far is the mustached clown in the striped tights. Yes, I suppose it would have to be fun for you then. Something wrong, Dahlia? You can still put it together with us. Not wrong exactly, but was this the only thing in the foyer? Yeah, I didn't see anything else out of place. Well, you two enjoy your puzzle then, I suppose. I have other things to do. What's up with her, Whisker? You think she's mad at me? Ugh, I hate guessing games like this. I guess I'll just ask her about it later. Dahlia makes her way up to the attic and knocks on the ceiling of the house. Are you up there? I know you had to be here earlier. I'm not gonna pretend I'm not here. I thought so. That was awfully mean of you earlier, you know. Leaving Huxley a gift and nothing for me. Now that you have a new toy, you're just going to leave me to gather dust? She's being so melodramatic, but you did somewhat expect this from her. She's never taken well to having to share attention, though you're a little surprised she's already noticed you giving him attention over a single small gift. He didn't even thank you or give you credit for it, so it's not as though he's going to be seeking your attention out because of a puzzle. Well, since you don't plan on answering me, you should know I'm feeling very cross with you about this. Between leaving me alone in here for so long, and then immediately turning your attention to your new friend, I'm feeling very replaced. So I expect you to do something to make this up to me. A fragile body and a fragile heart, the porcelain drama queen exits the attic. You might consider getting her something as well to cheer her up. But at the same time, you don't want to encourage her to indulge in such dramatics every time you do something with Huxley, and you know she'll catch on if you make it a pattern. For now, you'll just have to ignore this outburst. You leave the dollhouse alone for the rest of the day. Oh my gosh, it's Woody versus Buzz. This is the plot of Toy Story 1. I don't want to play with you anymore. I'm so upset. This is just a Pixar movie. The next one, but it's gonna take some horrifying turn at Pixar. We're a horror movie studio. I'm just waiting for it. The next morning you decide to check on the group around breakfast time. Luckily it looks like everyone is relaxed again as they are all spending time together. Okay, so it's a quiche? Quiche, Hux. Oh, you didn't say it right. Quiche. Are you paying attention? You look ready to fall asleep. I never get up this early. My head feels empty and my body feels boneless. You don't have bones, and I'm not sure if your head is empty or not, actually. Do you have glass eyes like mine? Wait, you're distracting me. I'm trying to give instructions. Oh no, wait, that was her. That was Dahlia. Sorry, Lady Dahlia. Please continue. Well, I was going to have you dice the vegetables for the quiche, but I'd rather not have you holding the knife while you're so tired. Why don't you mix up the eggs for me instead? I'll measure out the other ingredients for you to mix in, and you'll just have to man the mixer. Alright, Chief. Easier for me. I'm a klutz with a knife anyway. Alright, Butterfingers. Did she just take that seriously? The group gets to work on their complex breakfast dish. Dahlia works efficiently as she dices up their various vegetables into little cubes that will suit the size of the dish. She occasionally moves to check on Huxley's progress, but he seems to have things handled. Whisker hangs onto the clown's back, watching the mixture churning in the bowl and occasionally moving the lever switch when Huxley asks him to. Oh, do I actually have to? Oh. As you watch, you start to notice how much Dahlia looks over their way, a small frown on her face. Whisker catches her eye at one point and looks away. She turns her gaze down to her cutting board. By the time everything is put together to go into the oven, she's on edge. She excuses herself from the kitchen, asking Huxley to set the timer for her on the way out. She heads to the foyer. Stepping into the foyer, Dahlia spots a handful of items on the box-turned table that Huxley arrived in. A couple of colored balls, some silk handkerchief squares, also colorful, some oversized playing cards. Nothing she'd really be interested in. But there is one particularly ornate item among the group. She approaches it and picks it up. Oh, what a cute little cane. I usually prefer parasols, but this is nice. She turns the wooden cane over in her hand. She observes the metal handle at the top. It's fairly textured, made to be easy to grab even without wrapping fingers all the way around it. The flat top holds a little painted disc, painstakingly etched with a decorative H. Your work is detailed, even when working with such small materials. You were very particular in making this gift. Oh, she's gonna snap. The handcrafted cane lies splintered in half on the ground. Whoa. What was that? Nothing. Didn't I tell you to wait in the kitchen? So, I don't have to. And I was worried you were acting weird. Are those for me? Dahlia kicks the handle end of the broken cane behind her with her heel. Probably. Looks like all of it is for you. Whisker skitters across the foyer to Huxley's side, carrying the cane handle in his paws. His little plush steps went unnoticed by the larger toys in the room. Huxley takes the cane and looks to see what Dahlia was hiding. Jeez, Dahlia, what's your problem? Seriously, what did I even do? It's not you. I'm just upset with the owner right now. I was really angry and I just picked up the cane. I was so mad I just hit it against the box without thinking and it broke. It was an accident. Bull, you didn't break anything else. You only broke something that was for me. Huxley, are you crying? No. I honestly didn't think it would mean so much to you. It's just a cane. It was made for me. Nobody's ever made something just for me. You have so much. But you want to take away what I've got too? It was an accident. You already admitted you thought about it. That's enough. You're very upset with Dahlia for this, and you can see Huxley is getting pretty worked up. Best to separate them for now, and put Dahlia where you don't have to look at her for a little while. But... oh, there she goes. You put Dahlia away in her room and lock the door. Huxley, who was already upset by this turn of events, is terrified at seeing your hand enter the dollhouse so suddenly. There isn't much else you can do but leave him alone to calm down. I have to admit, I haven't seen Rosen Maiden yet, but I've heard of it. Dahlia pounds on the door of her room. You can hear her voice cracking as she cries to you, threatens you, says whatever she can think of to be absolved of any guilt. She just doesn't want to take responsibility for what she did. You decide to leave her in there until you're feeling less upset about what happened. Whenever that happens to be. For now, you decide to focus on making a new gift for Huxley. You hadn't expected him to be so sentimental over it, but knowing now that it's so meaningful to him, you're newly motivated to make something for him that he'll enjoy, if he's willing to accept something like that from you, even with his fear of your physical presence. It's a good first foot in the door to actually bonding with the clown. But what to make? Oh, so we have choices now. Okay. Hi, Uncle! I'm gonna be 100% raw, honest, and real right now. I forgot my username and have been trying to log in for a week. Oh, Uncle! I'm so sorry! I mean, it looks like you're good now. How are you and Auntie and kiddos doing? I hope you guys are doing good. We're just doing some spooky but cute itchio horror games. Guys, what do you think? Should we remake the cane, or should we get a portrait or a new bed? I'm gonna make a save because this looks like a choice. And I'm not gonna close the game this time on accident. Okay. Oh, you're all good? Yay, I'm glad. I'm at work right now just farting. Well, actually farting, or just like hypothetical farting. I love you. Oh my gosh. A bed? Alright, we'll go with the bed. Right, he's still sleeping on that rickety old metal frame in the attic that's been in there for years. You're sure he could use something more comfortable, and on top of that, you can customize it to be more suitable for him. Perhaps it would look nice with some bright colors and a star relief carving on the headboard. Maybe bed knobs that look like circus sea lions balancing a ball on their nose. Oh, that's cute. The idea is ambitious, but your mind is already racing with ideas. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the Wolf Pack. I mean, it's my house and I'm my boss, so theoretically, okay. I mean, both are fine, you know. You decide you had better get to work right away. I mean, also say I work from home too, so also same, Uncle. Over the next couple of days, you leave the dollhouse alone and work diligently on the bed for Huxley. Speaking of, guys, just so you know, for our birdism friends, I'm going to be proofing the calendar for Jen, making sure all the holidays and stuff are correct, and then we can give the A-OK on the calendar to the calendar peoples, and then we'll have them in, I'm thinking, probably around the same time as last year, like, just before, probably, what was the, probably around the same time as the calendars last year, so really close. Over the next couple of days, you leave the dollhouse alone to work diligently on the bed for Huxley. You imagine he would like some time without you looming over the house after what happened before. However, you know that before you can present him with his bed, you have to try to get things back to normal within the house. It's time to check on Dahlia. You find her lying on her bed, completely despondent. She's fully dressed, though you can't be sure whether that means she has been getting up every day to get ready, or just hasn't changed into her pajamas since you put her here. You unlock the door with a click. She is immediately alert. You're back! I thought maybe you were going to leave me in there forever. I'm sorry for acting out before. I shouldn't have destroyed something that you made. Well, this is a surprise, but you doubt she'll learn much from this even if she's trying to make up with you now. You should consider my feelings too, though. It's not about the gift specifically. You know that, don't you? Oh boy. You aren't sure what to do in response to this. She looks ready to burst into tears and you're still pretty cross with her. It doesn't negate your suspicion she's only trying to get your sympathy, so you'll forgive her for acting out. She looks up around the room expectantly. When nothing happens, she slowly sinks. I see. You don't want to talk about it right now. That's fine. It's fine. I should go let Huxley and Whisker know I'm out again. And I suppose talk to Huxley about this. I love you. Please talk to me soon. She anxiously hurries out of the room, her posture stiff and her expression full of worry. Just in case you stick around to listen in on her and Huxley. You find the conversation already in progress, but their voices are low and hard to hear. Perhaps Dahlia didn't want you to listen in. It's not spooky. Well, this is a spooky game. This is a horror game. But the spooks haven't happened yet. But there's been little subtle things happening. There's been moments that I thought like Dahlia was gonna snap or something. So I'm waiting to see what happens. And it's just really strange at the start of the game that she and Whisker were the only ones here. Like, I don't know if I'm right to be suspicious about that, but something about that seems off to me. And just the fact that Whisker's so attached to Huxley so fast. It feels like DDLC plus Toy Story. Man, I'm upset because I kind of get that feeling too. But I like the character designs, honestly. I really do enjoy them. I just worry that's the direction this is going. I don't remember it clearly, but I do have mentions in my journal. I don't think it's out of the question that replacement is what they have in mind. Like, this is actually emotional, too. Well, I don't know them very well, so I couldn't say that, but when I got here and you tried hard to tell me how much you trusted them on stuff, plus, don't you think that's kind of an overreaction to a few gifts for me? This house is already full of stuff for you, so it's just common sense that more things would be added for me to balance it out. You just don't get it. My bond with them is special, so I can tell when they're pulling away. Well, so what then? So what? Yeah, I mean, they put me in here for you, didn't they? It's not like you'd be alone even if they decide to focus their attention on me. That's not the same. Oh. I'm not trying to say I don't like you, Huxley. I like you a lot. You're my friend. But the owner, that's something else different entirely. My friendship with you makes me happy, but you don't give my life purpose. Nobody can do that for you, Dahlia. I know you think you're made just for them, but here's the thing. You have no purpose. Nobody does. Nobody can give you one. That's the awful truth. You have to get in life by your own will. Or just spin your wheels like I was when I just gave up. It's your own choice. There's no pressure to live for someone else, but there's no drive outside of your own wants. And that's difficult, but it is what it is. But that can't possibly be right. Gonna lurk so I don't accidentally type out crap like large sweater. Like, oh, no, Uncle, please don't worry about it. I hope it's good background noise for you. And how would you know anyway? You've spent your whole life just moping around, hating what you are. Just because you lack any purpose doesn't mean I do too. I should have known better than to confide in you. You don't get it because you've never been anyone's favorite. Well, I'm Whisker's favorite. I hope nothing bad happens to Whisker now that he just said that. Ugh. For the second time in just a few minutes, Dahlia storms out of the room, though this time, it's clear she's angrier than she is upset. But at the very least, Huxley stood his ground this time. Dahlia looks like she's going to sulk over tea in the kitchen, so you feel safe in leaving them alone while you get back to work. As long as she isn't at his throat, she can be mad all she likes. Oh wow. Today you finished your bed for Huxley. Rather than draw attention to it, you lift it in the foyer for him to find. You're excited to see his reaction. He approaches the bed, reaching out to touch the headboard as though to check if it was real. You feel a sense of pride in the little piece of furniture being carved out of real wood. It's not some cheap plastic diorama piece from a craft store. Clearly he notices just how much work is put into it. He sits on the edge of the bed, testing out the springiness of the mattress. It's definitely better than the old one in the attic. It's only your hope that he would feel more at home this way. It's a big piece of furniture that can't be easily ignored, and his style is all over it. Like Dahlia's imposing 4-bed poster bed, Huxley's is meant to display he has a very permanent place in the house, and it's all his. You're probably around, right? Right, there you are. Geez, I've just realized I don't really know how to talk to you. Especially since I've been avoiding you. You had to have noticed that. Sorry about that. And thanks for this. I really didn't think you'd care about me at all. Since it'd be pretty easy for you to just think of me as some object for your entertainment. But you surprised me. Also, I'm not lugging this thing up the stairs by myself. You'll have to move it. Dahlia steps down the stairs, frowning as she looks at the conspicuous bed in the foyer. Oh no. Golly, this is heart-wrenching because both of them are sort of in the right, but also you, the owner, are in the wrong. The thing is, we should really be balancing it out. We're really not doing that. Like, yeah, Dahlia shouldn't be getting jealous. Huxley does need more things, but Huxley also needs to, he does need to take her feelings into consideration and let her, kind of reassure her you're not being replaced. But the owner's not, the owner's clearly not making an attempt to be like, that's not what's happening. So of course she's going to have anxiety and think that. Man, I'm thinking way too deep into this, I feel like. Huxley's initial joviality clears right up at seeing at how she's looking at it. Oh, what is this? It's taking up the whole doorway. Huxley gets back up off of the bed where he was sitting. I don't think it's going to stay here. It's probably for the attic. Right, the attic. I suppose we'll just dismantle the old one to make room for the new one. Huxley doesn't respond to that. He likely knows it holds a secondary meaning in her eyes. I suppose I'll have to do it myself since you can't really help with that. You're just trying to get a rise out of me now. How so? It's the truth. Unless you think everything I do should be about you, too. I am the only one who hasn't been acting that way over you after all, so I would understand your confusion. Why are you so jealous of me? Jealous? There's nothing to be jealous of. The owner is only giving you attention because you're a novelty. You're new and they'll get bored of you. Shut up. And even if they do, whatever. Whisker's my friend. I thought you were too, but whatever. One is plenty for me. At least he cares about me. You never care about anyone but yourself. Whisker quietly enters the room, having heard the commotion and his name being used. Please don't drag me into this. iPad not being able to multitask with more than 2 windows is also kind of stinky. I'm legit watching on a TV above a modded Android. Switch to check Discord and answer Facebook messages on iPad. Oh no! I'm sorry, Uncle. That is so unintuitive. I don't have an iPad, so I don't, really know how they work. And you shouldn't be picking favorites. Heck, I don't think you are just by behavior. Yeah, I know. We really shouldn't be. We should be making sure all 3 of them know that they're equally special. He looks especially worried. That's not true. I care about the owner, or else this wouldn't even matter to me, because they care about me too. Oh yeah? Then what happened to what you said before about their silence being fine with you? They can ignore you all they want as long as they aren't giving attention to anyone else. You're not sure at all about whether they care about you. You're worried you're just a toy to them. Because you put all your worth into getting their approval. You make yourself miserable, Dahlia. So stop coming up with ways to blame me for that. Neither of us can control what they do. Neither of us can know for sure how they feel. Neither of us can guarantee we're more than just possessions for them. So it's pointless. If you don't want to be my friend, just leave me alone. You sit in silence for a moment. Is that really how he feels about you? Even after you went out of your way to make him feel welcome? He's right about Dahlia's insecurity, but maybe he's the same. Maybe he just can't trust you. You don't like it, but it's hard to completely disregard his point of view. You aren't in the same position at all, and he knows it. Surely he realizes how long you've dealt with Dahlia and her dramatics, though. If you threw out toys every time they were difficult with you, you would never have any. Dahlia returns from the kitchen. Oh no, don't tell me she has the knife or something. Huxley? What? What do you want, Dahlia? You really don't understand a thing. Yeah, she has it. I see it. You ruined everything. Don't you get it? Dahlia? Dahlia holds a kitchen knife in her hand. I was wrong. I can admit that. Watching Friends was wrong. It should have been just us. Even Whisker doesn't need to be here. Whisker is quick to flee. He bumps into the box, knocking the lid open. He uses it for cover. What do you have? A knife! No! Me with my hand coming down into the dollhouse. No! You're acting nuts. If you want the bed so bad, just take it. I just won't have anything. It's better than whatever this is. I don't want the stupid bed. I just want things to be like they were. Dahlia, please. You're scaring me. You begin to reach in for Dahlia, but she lunges before you can even come close. You're doing it on purpose. Going on and on about how much it doesn't matter to you, about how you aren't even trying. It just comes so easy to you, doesn't it? While I worry and try and actually care about what happens, you just mope until everything gets handed to you. I'm not, but please, I'll just go. I'll ask them to take me out of here. That's not good enough. I need to know that you won't come back. Dahlia! Dahlia, please stop. Oh no. With the knife swinging, there isn't much you can do but wait. He stopped moving early into the attack. She even tore out his spring and tossed it across the room. Not that he had been able to use it to get away. Huxley, no! Is barely recognizable as the puppet you chose by the time she stands up over him. His rubber head was split right up the middle and now lays splayed on the ground like open butterfly wings. It's like each half of his face is a mask, each displaying a different emotion held in his final moments. His lining is shredded, his stuffing tossed every which way. He's beyond salvaging. Whisker, you weren't always so bad, so I'm sorry about this. Not Whisker! You step away from the dollhouse. How did things go so wrong so quickly? You need to find something to put Dahlia in. You can't leave her in there, but you don't want to pick her up while she's acting like this. Oh no, ad break. Well, I guess I'm pausing right here. I knew it. I knew she was gonna snap. You know what? This is the owner's fault. This is totally on the owner. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, she shouldn't have done that, but like, really? You saw the signs. Like, why didn't you speak to her when you put her back in there? Like, yeah, still be cross with her, but don't just say nothing, because I think that's what led to this. I was like, you should have had a conversation with her. Like, oh my god. The sound effects. I mean, assuming it's like stuffing, like, the sound effects totally make sense. I was waiting for the horror. There was the horror, although now I regret asking when the first spook was gonna happen. Now I instantly regret it because I'm gonna be crying over Whisker all night. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm gonna take another sip of tea. I'm almost done. I'm almost done with my taro milk gabumon tea. I'm very sad. Oh my goodness gracious, but it was so good. Yeah. I feel like I want to see what happens next time. The next time we have the choices and I say Dahlia, what happens? I'm interested about that now. The knife, and we're back. The knife is the size of an X-Acto blade to you, but you don't doubt she would stick it right through your hand if you gave her the chance. That would still hurt. assuming she didn't go for a vein instead. You find a jar that should be about the right size and grab a large paintbrush to shove her into it with and return to the dollhouse. You're met with a burning smell and the sight of smoke exiting the windows. You find Dahlia sitting in the attic. In the brief time you were away, she set the room ablaze. You could smell some sort of accelerant. It makes you wonder if she put some thought into this before about what she would do. It occurs to you to attempt to scoop her into the jar, but fire is already creeping up the sides of her dress, of her hair. Chat! Oh no! Do we save her or do we leave her? Oh no. Okami, I'm a little bit what, and I'm about to send the thing I've been cackling at for the last 5 minutes in Discord. Sure, go ahead. I want to know absent chat for Dahlia. This is a big, I'm gonna save right here because this is another important choice. Man. Oh yeah, they completely make sense, and good golly, do they underscore the horror. It's different, but close enough to what it would be for a human that you get the visceral, I know what's happening, but because of the buildup, you feel it as much as if it was actual flesh being cut, and you don't have the deadening effect of being exposed to it before. Yeah. Like, like that was done really well, honestly. Alright, Man. F's in chat, I'm gonna leave her. Huxley was right in a way. She's in a heck of her own making. And never has it been so clear as now when you see her being taken by the flames. Cracks form from the heat and her clothes and hair burn away. You look away. You start to think there was never a possibility of either of you being happy in this arrangement. It's both a punishment and a mercy to let her burn. You leave to grab a pitcher of water for the fire. To scale, it's small and fairly contained. The only damage is to the dollhouse. Still, you move your paint thinners and repair supplies off of your table and spritz down the surface with water and to catch any stray embers. And you wait. You don't put out the fire until you're sure she has been reduced to nothing more than porcelain debris. You take some responsibility for this situation. After all, it was your dollhouse. You were in charge of it. But things were clearly beyond any redemption. You're not sure when you'll be up to it, but you'll just have to start over fresh. A new home, maybe new toys. And you'll be sure your control is known to be undefiable so that this never happens again. Ending to be the doll maker, the monster maker. Oh no, another bad ending! On the first try. Hi, Ilya. Boo. How are you? No, not again. Okay. I want to see what happens this time if we save her. The dollhouse is definitely ruined. Huxley and Whisker are beyond saving. Horrible as she has been, she's the only thing left. You reach into the dollhouse with your tools and scoop the burning doll into the jar. It's lucky for her that you chose a glass container or you wouldn't have even had the option. You hurry her into the bathroom, the lid held over the jar to try to keep the smoke from escaping. It's not quite enough to smother the fire. You finally bring her to the sink and turn on the faucet, drenching her and filling the container with water. By the time you've done all of this, her cotton clothing has been ruined. Her wool-wefted hair has easily burned away. Her paper flowers are only ashes in the water. She's naked and charred and unrecognizable. But she's alive. Try as she might to convince you otherwise by sinking motionlessly to the bottom of the jar. You'll have to remake her. The damage is extensive. But she's a monster of your making. You'll breathe new life into her, and hopefully this time you'll get it right. Ending 2A, the Princess Ashput, if I'm saying that right. Yeah, this sure is a game. We've been doing horror visual novels from itchio. One I forgot for a week and only just Sherlocked back into. I love the phrase Sherlocked back into. Okay, so let's see what happens. I think this was the first choice, right? So that was what happens when you say Dahlia's your favorite. What? I meant when Huxley is winning you over. What happens when Dolly is your favorite? Let's see what happens. You still feel Huxley is better suited as something of a distraction for Dahlia. Flawed little thing that she is, you wouldn't have kept her this long if you didn't have some attachment to her. Especially with how poorly she gets along with other toys. She's quite lucky that even though she's so much trouble, you have quite the sentimental view of her. Hopefully the clown learns his place with time and stops... Oops. I was trying to read the rest, but oh gosh, I can't. Oops. Let me cut off. Oh, no, wait. Oh, that's what that does. Okay. History. That's it. Trouble, you have quite the sentimental view of her. Okay, it's been a little time since okay, hopefully the clown learns his place with time and stops... okay. I think it says bringing down the mood for her. Okay. Okay, I couldn't read through it. Thank you, Rob. Yep, there it is. If not, you could always make some adjustments. But nothing can last forever. It's clear enough the honeymoon phase is coming to an end by the argument you find already in progress when you check on the house today. Huxley, you've picked out our game 3 times in a row. We're going to play what I want to play today. You literally offer to let me choose. You can't say you don't care what we play and then take it back because you didn't like what I picked. I didn't know you were going to pick the worst one when I said that. Ugh, the worst one? You seemed fine with it the other day. But fine, let's play this one instead. You like Parlor Detective, don't you? Are you serious? I'm just more in the mood for a word game. So you had a specific game in mind. I didn't realize which one I wanted until now. It's not as though I planned to argue with you. Could have fooled me. You're so sour, Huxley. I'll get the game set up while you're over there sulking. You'll feel better once we start playing. Hey, Whisker, what do you make of this? The rabbit looks up from his place on the little pet bed on the floor. He seems uneasy at being addressed in the middle of their tiff. Whisker doesn't even talk, Huxley. I know you're playing some joke. Whisker, do you think Dahlia already started the game without me? I'm still setting it up. Because I'm starting to think we're playing charades or ESP tester. Or maybe just mind games. I don't think expecting you to take me at my word requires you to be psychic. The only funny thing about this is how silly you're acting over some board games. Yeah, well, maybe I'm not in the mood for your kind of game. So you're pitching a fit over not getting your way? That's rich. No, if you just said what you wanted from the beginning, I wouldn't care. Honestly, if you wanted to watch paint dry and you were serious about it, that'd be fine with me. But I'd rather drink paint than get jerked around. Then enjoy the taste of your new colors. I'm not in the mood to play anymore. Dahlia shoves the little letter tabs and the game board back into the box she had been removing them from. Even Huxley looks a bit surprised at this reaction, but primarily, he looks irritated. It's odd to see him so worked up. Though he has been more lively since Dahlia helped him get back on his feet, it's rare to see him feel so strongly about anything. The general state of ennui he carries himself with leaves little room for such emotional outbursts. Not beyond a sarcastic remark, anyway. So seeing him like this, it's a little worrisome. Once the game is put away, Dahlia moves to push him along toward the door, meeting resistance when she does. Ennui. Okay, thank you, Rob. What are you doing? We're not going to be playing anything now, so I want some time to myself. Get out of my room. How mature of you, Miss Dahlia. Really befitting a lady of your caliber. Out! The clown finally exits the room and she slams the door behind him. With him gone, she sighs and presses her back to the door. It takes her a few moments, but she gathers herself and straightens out her dress and then her hair. When she looks around and sees Whisker is no longer in the room either, she sits down on her bed and takes up her diary and pen from her dresser. I swear, I can't count on anyone to just be civil. She begins to write. You decide to leave her to her personal writing. The next morning, you decide to check in on the dollhouse to make sure things have cooled off from the day before. Dahlia is waiting in the kitchen, presumably for the other toys. She seems to be lost in thought. The distant look leaves her face when Huxley enters the room. You can tell by his expression he's wary of what she might say to him. Presumably, they haven't spoken since their fight. It's probably good that you're here to watch them, just in case. Good morning, Dahlia. His tone is flat, cautious perhaps. Good morning, Huxley. Dahlia's greeting is chipper. Her tone is sing-song as though she doesn't even recall the fight before. The clown is caught off guard for a moment by this, but regains his composure. I'm not buying it. I was just waiting to make breakfast. I assume Whisker won't be joining us, but that's all right. I'll leave out some leftovers for him. What will we be having today? You're leaving it to me to choose? Oh, sorry, I wasn't asking you. She must mean you then. Me? I don't know if this is important, but I'm going to go with the obvious best answer. Crepes. You reach into the kitchen with them and carefully pinch the little cookbook up in the cupboard between the tips of your fingers. Huxley's eyes look wide, and you can see him tense his jaw as soon as your hand enters the dollhouse. His whole body is wound tight as though in preparation to flee the room. Dahlia, on the other hand, smiles as her dark eyes watch you take the book from the room. You grab one of your tools to help with moving the pages. Oh, didn't mean to do that. A thin pair of tweezers you usually use for toy repairs. You just tear the pages out if you try to handle them yourself. You carefully select the recipe, then hold the book in the tweezers to keep it open as you return it to the room. Dahlia reaches up to accept the book out of the tool's grip. The puppet shows a sliver of teeth between his lips, but doesn't speak. You take your hand back as soon as the item is passed off. You aren't sure what he's thinking, but you can tell he is very upset by your intrusion upon the toy's space. Oh, it has been a long time since I've made crepes. I have some wonderfully juicy strawberries in the fridge as well. They'll be perfect for this. Huxley, do you prefer yours with chocolate sauce or just whipped cream? I'll have it however you're having yours. How can you tell when they're here anyway? You asked so readily. Oh, I ask every day. You usually sleep in, though, Mr. Lazybones. Lazybones? Yeah, well, I was having trouble sleeping, so I'm up early. Oh, let's have some chamomile tea before bed tonight. I'm sure you'll sleep well then. Yeah. We'll worry about that tonight, though. For now, I have crepes to make. You're going to love them, I promise. But since they are rather troublesome to make, I'd like you to help as well. Of course. I can't cook, though. I'll be doing all the cooking. I just want you to slice the strawberries for me. And do be careful with the knife. You watch as Dahlia starts to prepare her whipped cream and crepe batter. I'm hungry. She periodically stops to correct Huxley on his cutting technique. Each time he seems a little more discouraged, but he doesn't remark on it. That's probably for the best. You watch until Dahlia starts putting together the crepes, lovingly rolled into little cone shapes and filled with cream and fruit. At some point, she recuts some of Huxley's strawberry slices into hearts to top them with. Things seem peaceful again, so you leave them to their culinary work. Hopefully the morning together helps them put that argument the night before behind them. Your hopes that the toys wouldn't need much more supervision to keep getting along turn out to be a little too optimistic. Aw, crap, we looked away for 5 seconds. You find yourself regularly checking in on them when you hear arguments breaking out in the dollhouse. Despite Huxley's originally harsh demeanor toward Dahlia when she would snap at him, you find he is becoming more and more upset by these developments. You never really took him for the emotional type. You're not sure what to make of it, but Dahlia is convinced that he has only crocodile tears for her. Even if so, you find yourself worried about the state of the dollhouse if they continue to bicker this way. You only brought Huxley in as a way to keep her entertained and to provide her some company that would actually talk to her, but you're starting to wonder if that was the right decision. The mood in the house has become unhospitable, and you sometimes find yourself considering separating the two by adding an extra wall to divide the dollhouse. But that would hardly be a practical solution. Like every other day, you find yourself checking on the dollhouse when it becomes quiet. You need to see what the two inside are up to. You see Dahlia is currently having some tea in the kitchen by herself. She seems fairly content, but you did hear another fight earlier. You check the attic for Huxley next, expecting to find him moping by himself after another rough day. But he's not there. Oh no. Oh, okay, he's still here. What is he doing in there? You watch in silence. Whisker rests on the pet bed in the room, and his head turns to look at the clown as he crosses the room. Huxley brings an arm up to his face and mimes a shushing noise. A little difficult to do without fingers, but the rabbit seems to understand. He lays his head back down, and Huxley continues across the room. He lingers at the bookshelf, bending down to examine the spine of each entry there. He checks the board games as well. Not finding what he's looking for, he heads to the dresser next. His eyes wander over the basket of flowers and the clutter of small desk items Dahlia keeps there. A little notepad with a list of chores and repairs to be made sits on top. He leafs through this, but drops it back in place once he sees how mundane its contents are. His lips tighten in discomfort. He slowly opens the first drawer of the dresser. He shuts it much more quickly than he opened it. At least you can be sure he wasn't looking for the contents of that one. He opens the next one and this time reaches inside. Dahlia's diary. He closes the drawer and leaves the room, heading right back up to the attic with his findings. Whisker gives a worried frown from his position on the pet bed. This is a bad idea. She's gonna flip when she notices. The lock on the diary is a minor obstacle. He simply uses a small knife from the kitchen to cut it as close to where it attaches to the book as possible. It can just be glued back into place. Huxley opens the book and sets it out on one of the dusty boxes so that he can more easily read it and turn the pages. His touch is careful, aware of how suspicious it would be for any of the diary's pages to be ripped. Though he notices right away some of the older ones are missing. You originally had taken these out for Dahlia, but now you're glad you did for an entirely different reason. You never thought about other toys snooping. Dear Diary, I can't seem to find my old journal, so we'll be starting fresh. But it is a lovely day for such fresh starts. Rose finished another painting today for the foyer. The results are beautiful. She has such a talent with paint. I wish that I could make anything half as lovely. I can at least say I provide something in return since I'm working on a new dress for her. I do hope she likes it. Dear Diary, I've asked for some flowers to put up some arrangements around the house. Since Rose paints so many flowers, I'm sure she would like some for her still lives as well. I'm not sure why I'm bothering, though, with how difficult she's been lately. It seems like she disagrees with me just for the sake of it. Even on the littlest thing. I'm not going to say anything to her about it, but I wish that she would stop regardless. Dear Diary, honestly, I think she's jealous of me. It's the only thing I can think of. Rose used to be so sweet, but now it's like walking on glass to be around her. Or is it eggshells? Either way, she needs to stop picking fights with me. Our owner is only excited by her because she's something new enough to still be a novelty. If she thinks that means she's better than me, her wooden head is as empty as it sounds when the wind blows through the house. Huh. A crude drawing of a doll's head with wind blowing in one ear and out the other adorns the next page. A couple after that are removed. Dear Diary, I'm terribly lonely here. I think the owner sent Rose away due to my complaints. I haven't seen her in days, and they won't answer me as to her whereabouts. Or has it been weeks? I'm not sure anymore. I suppose it can have been days since I'm having difficulty remembering exactly when we last spoke, even picturing her face. I wish she had left behind some self-portraits. I miss her dearly. Huxley frowns and skips ahead past many pages of mundane daily goings on around the empty house. They range from cheerfully recountings of craft projects to desperate letters to no one expounding on her loneliness. Dear Diary, a new home with new faces. I was able to bring a few things with me, but it feels quite frightening all the same. Luckily, Lucille has been a very gracious host. She shares everything with me with an eagerness that tells me she has been as lonely as I have these past years. Though I do enjoy sleeping in the attic. It's rather eerie up here. I don't enjoy sleeping in the attic. It's rather eerie up here. I feel terribly out of place. Maybe if I wish hard enough, I'll return to the home I know. Huxley eyes the old bed frame that now holds his own bed. He had just assumed Dahlia had always lived here and it was her home. Dear Diary, Lucille's not what I thought she was. She's so cruel when she wants to be. Today we sat on the roof together to see the stars. She pushed me. The owner doesn't believe me. They replaced the arm that was damaged, but my face can't quite be restored. My eye. I feel so broken beyond that, though. Perhaps I'm just very unlucky, but nothing ever quite works out in my favor. If I can convince the owner of what Lucille did, perhaps they'll actually do something. But until then, I think I'll just be avoiding her, lest I say something that would further prevent any sort of peaceful resolution. Dear Diary, she deserved it. They wouldn't have done it if she didn't. The puppet stares at the pages, chewing his lip and looking deep in thought. He leaves through the next quiet stage of Dahlia's life until he finds another name. Dear Diary, after so long the owner has gifted me new friends. Theodore and Whisker are a delightful little pair. I would never say so to them, but I'm a little disappointed that the owner didn't think to bring me a doll like myself. But Theodore is still a kindly gentleman, even if he is rather fuzzy. And Whisker knows so many tricks. Such an agile little thing. I'm sure we're going to get along grandly. This section seems to be missing the most pages. There are areas where even Dahlia writes about her frustration with her diary being tampered with and how often she finds herself confused about the past events the other toys discuss with her. Eventually, Huxley finds the newer pages that Theodore's name simply isn't mentioned again, not even in a memoir fashion as when Dahlia lamented the loss of her initial friend. Huxley finds the more recent entries as he seeks the point where he initially arrived. Dear Diary, finally a friend, a new friend who might be as sad as me, but at least he speaks. At least it's not only me now. At least I can look at his face and recognize him. I had started to think perhaps the owner hated me. They placate me with gifts, but they never let me out anymore. And I know they have other toys. I can see them from the window, working on their projects. Only just barely. I don't always understand what I'm seeing, but I know that's what they're working with. Unknowable things, but knowable faces. If Huxley hadn't arrived, I don't know what I would have done. I was at my wit's end, but finally things are normal again. Dear Diary, Huxley is a curious fellow. I rather appreciate the humor he brings to the house, even if I wish Whisker wouldn't look at him quite so interestedly. Whisker ignores me when he can. But I'm happy to share my books and my time with Huxley. I don't know if he understands our situation quite the same way that I do, but he likely already knows that there won't be more toys added to his home after him. Unless one of us were to be replaced, of course, but I wouldn't let that happen. Wouldn't let either of us be replaced, or wouldn't let herself be replaced? The rest of this is just about things we've done together, though she does kind of talk about me like she thinks I'm stupid or something. Huxley frowns and finally closes the diary. This was a waste of time. And now I have to fix the strap, too. I remember seeing some glue in Dahlia's scrapbooking supplies. I'll just use that. He leaves the attic to return the book to its original hiding place in the bedroom. Dahlia's already there. I had a feeling. So picking Huxley gives you the fruitcake meltdown.
Good news, everyone.
What's your good news, JT?
1. The new Urban Rescue Ranch video is out.
Oh, okay. I gotta watch
Ben
that.
got
Hi, JT.
Ben got a new Cayman.
Another Cayman?
This one cannot be around females.
Well, is the
'Cause
one
he
that
will-
he already had, was that a male or female?
Gustavo?
Yeah, Gustavo. Okay.
Gustavo's a male.
Okay, I forgot his name.
The new Cayman is also a male. He cannot be around females.
But can he be around Gustavo, or is that like a territory
They don't know
thing?
because he's killed the females that he's been with.
Oh!
Yeah, he's just hella aggressive.
Okay.
That's why he's living with Ben now.
That sounds like a territory thing?
No, it sounds like he's just crazy.
Okay. Murder! I mean, you're not
2.
wrong, Elia.
Kevin is no longer aggressive.
Yeah, we know that because...
The muscle mommies beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, because didn't she, now he's no longer the alpha, the
yes,
alpha?
because the muscle mommy ostriches
They were
the
like,
shit out of
stop
him.
that, young man.
The muscle mommy ostriches were just like bang bang, and now he's chill.
Muscle mommy ostrich was not a pair of words I was expecting to hear today, or in the same kind of sentence. But
3.
Uh-huh.
He went to a reptile thing and got 4 axolotls.
Axolotls.
4.
Wow, that's okay.
Master Oogway has a wife.
Master Oogway has a wife?
5.
I'm so happy for him.
Master Oogway has already tried to do it with his wife.
I'm not surprised. He's a tortoise. Why are we like this? Anyway, was that the last one?
The one raccoon is probably going to be an educational ambassador.
Good.
Because he's too friendly.
Aw, poor baby,
He's way too
yeah.
friendly.
Not gonna survive in the wild then.
No, he's way too friendly. He sits on Ben's shoulders still, and Ben has kept him in the enclosure where he kept the foxes for a really long time.
Oh yeah, that big one.
Yeah, he's kept the raccoon in there for like almost a month.
I forgot that they were.
And he's still friendly. Like, that's the thing, is he's been in there alone for a month, and he's still friendly.
Yeah, he's not gonna go back to like being like wild. At that point. You can't do that. You can't put him out there. Oh my goodness gracious. Dahlia's already there. Why are you acting like that, Whisker? You funny little bunny. You've never tried to play with my things before. Now give me my hairbrush back. Come. Huh?
Time to go fight a muscle mommy.
Don't fight the muscle mommy.
Oh, yeah. And now the baby's wife is also starting to beat up Ben.
What? Now he's got 2 kangaroos going after.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
The baby does it because of territory.
What, she's just doing it because she sees him
he's doing it.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
She's doing it because he's doing it.
Yeah, because you're gonna do the same thing. Huxley.
So now everyone beats up Ben.
Poor Ben. He cares for these animals and they just beat him up.
Kevin stopped beating him up.
Well, there's that at least. I was most afraid of Kevin.
Kevin is no longer...
And just chasing after him like a mad velociraptor. Huxley tries haphazardly to hide the book behind his loose sleeves. Oh, hey, Dahlia. Hello, Huxley. Did you need something? No, it was really quiet up in the attic. Oh, isn't it always, though? She smiles, amused by what sounds to her like a very silly excuse to come find her. I was just brushing my hair until Whisker stole my brush. Silly little thing. Whisker tenses as Dahlia reaches for him. He squeaks as she picks him up by the scruff. Dahlia, be careful. It looks really, uncomfortable for him. Oh, he's just being dramatic. He always is when I pick him up. She tugs on the brush in Whisker's paws. Huxley finally catches on why the rabbit is acting so strange. Oh no, ad break, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize. Oh no, I'm so afraid. I don't like the fact that Whisker is, like, so terrified right now. Gosh, poor Whisker. He's the one I feel most sorry for. Well, we'll probably go until we get to, like, the next ending. I need to look up how many endings are actually in this game because I don't know the exact amount. But I would like to see if we can get all of them, maybe tomorrow if y'all want to keep seeing all the endings. And then we still got 2. That's a lot of endings. I don't think there's that many. What is this? Shadow the Hedgehog? There's not that many endings. Jeesh. Oh my goodness. But I kind of like how, the horror is way, like, it's way more subtle in this one than, like, the previous, like, Candy Scrubs, but I love them both. Honestly, they're both just, like, really enjoyable, honestly. But man, Dolly, I'm really disliking Dolly. Like, I feel bad. I know she's probably having anxiety, but, like, she's so, you know, she, look at how she treats Whisker. Like, come on. Like, don't do that to him. Stop being, like, so mean. We're back. He tries to inch closer to the dresser while Dahlia is occupied with Whisker. The book slides right out of his grip and onto the floor when he tries to lean over toward the dresser. Busted. Dahlia drops Whisker, her eyes trailing right down to where her diary lies on the floor. She looks oh no, that music change can't mean anything good. But only for a moment. What are you doing? Dahlia, that's my private writing. What's wrong with you? Coming into my room and stealing things? You horrible creature. I had a reason, okay? I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done it. What reason could you possibly have for rifling through my drawers and violating my privacy? I share everything with you, Huxley. I should at least have my own thoughts to myself. I wanted to know what was going on in your head. You've been getting really mean with me lately. So I thought I'd just see what I was doing wrong. If it was me or you, or if I was doing something that was upsetting you. That made my heart jump. Darn it. Darn it. I'm regretting this giveaway. I'm regretting this contest they're doing. My heart wouldn't have stopped if they weren't doing it. The lag mode made that timing darn lag. I should have just talked to you about it. You're accusing me of being mean when you've stolen from me? And just how have I mistreated you, Huxley? This is my home and I'm sharing it with you. I make you food and I play games with you. I even fixed you. I wasn't broken, you know. And that's part of it. You do things for me, but then you act like I owe you. Like you're counting how many favors you've given me to turn in later. Plus, you get so angry about everything if it doesn't go your way. I don't want to feel like I have to watch every little thing I say or you'll get upset. You have an awful attitude, Huxley. What am I supposed to say? Being upset by your rude behavior isn't unreasonable. Disagreeing with you isn't rude. So is stealing not rude either? I already apologized. And if the things I do for you make you feel so awful, then I don't think I should do anything for you anymore. You ingrate. You're being ridiculous about this. Coming from a clown? Maybe you're right. Maybe you weren't broken before like I thought. Maybe you're just made wrong in the first place. Dahlia cups her hands around her mouth and looks up at the ceiling. You can take your spring back. We don't want it anymore. Dahlia, get rid of it. Get it out of my house. Stop it. Huxley shoves Dahlia backwards, causing her to stumble. She trips over Whisker, who scurries to try to get out of the way. There's a quiet crack when she hits the ground. Huxley stares at her with her eyes wide. I didn't mean... You decide you've seen enough of this. Wait. You scoop the clown out of the dollhouse as Dahlia picks herself back up. Oh good, he's safe. You can see her limp as she steps forward, likely some minor leg damage. You'll have to fix that. As for Huxley, clearly giving him equal footing with Dahlia in the home was a mistake. You carefully tear out the sections of fabric that keep the spring in place in the puppet's body. Once it's done, you set the metal piece aside. It's what she asked for, after all, and in this case, you're inclined to agree with her. You gently place Huxley back into the dollhouse. His breathing is heavy and his body trembles as he lies on the floor, unwilling to get back up just yet. He's so sensitive about any sort of contact with you. Pitiful, really. Dahlia brushes off her dress and frowns down at him on the ground. He looks back at her with glossy eyes. Dahlia. Huxley's expression betrays the level of hurt he's feeling, even beyond the physical change. This is clearly an incredibly deep betrayal in his eyes. What? You got by without it before. But since you think my input doesn't matter anymore, there's no reason to keep using the thing I decided to give you, right? You'll figure something out all by yourself. Unless you decide to take back what you said. And plead with me for forgiveness. Wow! Girl? Really? Huxley's expression darkens and he goes quiet. The silence hangs thickly in the air, stifling the mood in the room. Whisker looks uneasy despite the look not being directed at him. He's quick to leave the room. Well, Dahlia, if you really think you're right about this, your face isn't the only thing that's cracked. The doll's eyes widen and she shoots the clown an incredulous, infuriated look. Is that so? I guess I'll be taking the attic back as well. You came with the room anyway, didn't you? You can sleep in that box. How about you give me your bed instead, since you'll have to sleep in mine if you want to keep me out of it. You're so ridiculous. I thought we were friends, but your jealousy clearly is too much for you to overcome. It's such a pity. Why couldn't you just play nicely, Huxley? I was playing nice. That was my mistake. Rob, because I'm trying to get a better ending. Just watch yourself if you're thinking about getting mean with me, Harlequin. You know our other friend would be quick to punish you if you raised a hand to me. Huxley's eyes search the room, passing over the ceiling, the windows. He knows you're watching, which he should. You don't want him getting any ideas considering you already had to confiscate the spring. And just like that, he seems to lose all energy. You're right. It's pointless. So why don't you just crawl into your box? Huxley says nothing as he leaves the room, having to pull himself along on the floor. When he reaches the stairs, Whisker at least helps him along, once he's sure Dahlia can't see. Dahlia, on the other hand, is looking pleased with herself, despite the edge of sourness still affecting her mood. Honestly, can you believe the nerve of him? I do so much for him, and he decides to treat me like this in my own home? Clearly he forgot whose house this is. I shouldn't have expected much from a clown anyway. Thank you for looking out for me. I knew you would. We've been through so much together. I love you, my dear. When you check on Huxley, he already has returned to his box, curled up inside, much like when you first put him in the hole. Huxley! You can imagine that he'll get over his mood with enough time. Hopefully he comes back out with a new attitude as well. You expected a little better when you chose him, honestly. In any case, you're glad that the little problem has been taken care of. Later in the evening, a surprisingly loud sound draws your attention back to the doll. Yeah, no, not gonna end there. I thought it was for a moment. You check the foyer first. The large mirror near the attic door remains intact. Huxley doesn't seem to be in the box anymore. He must have snuck back up to the attic to sleep. He doesn't seem to be present here either. And it appears the picture frame in this room also wasn't the source of the noise, as it's still in one piece. You already saw into the kitchen from the entryway, and it was completely dark. So that leaves... You decide to check Dahlia's room. Though it's unlikely, she does have decorative window it would be possible to break, as well as various glass knickknacks. It looks like she's awake as well, as you see a dark shape on her bed. Closer to the bed, you realize there is something lying on the floor. The brass night piece? You're putting off the inevitable. You finally move the curtains on Dahlia's bed to look in on her. Oh no, did he kill her? Oh, he smashed her face in. I wasn't expecting that.
A body has been discovered. After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin.
Ow. I would be like, man, that's gonna cause a migraine, but I don't know why you would put the clown back in the house if you think he doesn't even deserve legs. What? I felt so bad. Why would you rip that from him? That was uncalled for. You're here already. I kind of expected to see you in the morning.
A body has been discovered.
Whoopsie.
After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin.
Oh my gosh, I didn't expect him to snap. I thought she was gonna kill him for reading the diary. Way to play with my expectations. I guess this is a little awkward for you, isn't it? You look at Dahlia's remains on the bed. One of her glass eyes rests on the comforter. You painstakingly replicated her original one after she was first damaged. Now there isn't even a face to house it. Man, yeah, Gorilla Glue ain't gonna solve this. She's only porcelain, but somehow the sight of her head completely disfigured like this still feels horribly cruel. You're probably still looking at her, right? You spoiled her, you know. It's pretty awful of you to put me in this position, but maybe worse for her. I can't imagine someone gets to be in her position without being enabled in some ways.
R2B2 Brady says, you could say that Dahlia lost face in this exchange.
You could say it was a face off. Maybe that's why she couldn't get along with anyone before me. But hey, you have a new favorite now, oh my gosh, he's holding up part of her face. That's so twisted. Even if you hate me, I'm the only one now. What did you do to Whisker? He did nothing to you. Or do you only like pretty little dolls? Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the Wolfpack. If it's a face-off, who is Nicolas Cage? It has to be Huxley, right? I mean, it could be Whisker too, but I'm like, Nicolas Cage has to have a main starring role. You don't put Nick Cage in a side role. Oh, I didn't do anything to Whisker. I haven't seen him since I got the chess piece from the attic. What do you care anyway? If you liked him, you wouldn't have let Dahlia treat him like a pet. Doesn't matter now. I hope he got out. You're probably going to break me now anyway, right? Better he doesn't have to see that, or see her. Oh, 2 choices here. Alright. What's the first one gonna be? Nick Cage's Freddy Fazbear. Gosh darn it. I just want Nick Cage to do the her. Alright, assuming by that noise, we're gonna break him. And let's see what happens. You're sure it's what he wants anyway. You easily take the puppet out of the dollhouse and tear him in half in your hands. His fabric body shreds with minimal effort. What a waste. Dahlia's beyond repair. Huxley was a disaster. That rabbit has completely vanished. You'll have to start over from scratch. You don't even know if you have it in you at this point. Perhaps you'll avoid choosing such big egos in your next project. It only causes trouble when they crave to be in control, knowing you're the only one with any control here. Well, say for instances like tonight. Even humans can't control everything. And 1A, you spoil her. Alright, let's see what happens now if we don't break him. So it looks like we're getting 1A, 1B, and we got 2A and 2B. Didn't get me. Nice try. That one didn't get me. I was like, I don't know why that one didn't get me. I was looking directly at the screen. Just didn't get me that time. You gently lift Huxley out of the dollhouse. It is well and truly tempting to pick the puppet up and pop his little sculpted head right off his shoulders. Nier Automata looks weird. Thank you. But what would be the point of that? You'd have nothing left, just an empty dollhouse. You're not sure how you managed to lose control of the situation so quickly. You were only away for a little while. You shouldn't have to watch the house for every second of every day and night to avoid these kinds of disasters. You could never stop it when it happened with Dahlia. Of course, you couldn't stop it when it happened to her either. In the end, maybe it is on you for not maintaining a better balance in the household. You can't be sure. You leave the dollhouse alone for now. You may come back to check on Huxley and start the arduous task of attempting to build a connection with him. It shouldn't be impossible, even if he is the difficult type. Dahlia was the difficult type too. It took a lot of work to get her to do as you wanted and involved a lot of compromising. Maybe too much compromising. If you hope to ever introduce new toys to the dollhouse again, you'll have to hope you've learned from your mistakes with her. The clown caught you off guard this time, but you'll soon be in control once more. Ending 1B, your new favorite. But it's not like I had a choice. You need to make a psychiatrist. Yeah, that probably, or some kind of therapy toy. Man, something like that. I'm checking to see how many endings are there now? Because we got 1A, 1B, 2A, and 2B. So I'm just checking. How many are there? Don't toy with me. How many? And Doc McStuffins. Okay, first of all, she's not a toy. She treats toys, but she's not a toy. Completely different. Is it just those 4? Then did we finish the game? I'm trying to check. I'm looking at the wrong thing. I'm just double checking. No, can I find it anywhere? Hold on. I'm wondering if that's it. I'm just double checking to be sure, because if that's it, then we'll call it for tonight. Oh my gosh. Thank you, I needed that. Hold on, let me check the itchio page. Let me see. 2 branching routes with 2 endings each. Okay, so that means we definitely got all of them. Haha! Okay. So, I am going to post the links for both games we played tonight. Please feel free to check out their itchio pages. And if like I said, if the developers have like a tip thing or a Patreon thing and you guys really enjoyed the stream, that's there to help support them. Let me get Candy first. And then I will get Don't Toy With Me. Okay, here is blah 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 blah. This is for Candy Scabs. And then let me get Don't Toy With Me. And I should have had this beforehand. Should have had this ready. Darn me, was not prepared. And then here's Don't Toy With Me as well. So we got all endings for both games, so I was really glad we got to do this. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's spooky games. I will be back tomorrow with more of these. We still have 1, 2, 3 other games. I know one is like super short, the others are on the shorter side too. I'll try to see if I can get Parsnip to work. I don't know what's going on with the crashing, but I'll see if I can get that working. Otherwise, I will find another backup just in case. But I hope you guys enjoyed the spooky but cute games from itchio Part 1. Part 2 will be tomorrow. I really did enjoy both these games, though. They were both really good short visual novels with I just enjoyed the aesthetics of both. I love this one, especially the writing. I was like, man, I wasn't prepared for it to be so like making me emotional in places, you know? It's like, holy heck. And my little nightmares from my little nightmares from Candy Scrubs, from Candy Scabs, not Scrub. Candy Scabs are the best. But yeah, I'm gonna call it here. We're gonna go find a friend to raid. And like I said, there will at least be another stream tomorrow. We'll do the rest of these tomorrow. I will try to do Thursday. I just can't promise. It all depends what time we get out of the movie. So I will keep you guys updated with that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming out. I hope it was a fun time. Of course, if it's your first time here, hello, I'm Okami. I'm a member of the Zeldathon team as well as Mini Kit Marathon. And like I said, we do horror games all year round, basically. So we do that. We do JRPGs. We do wholesome indie titles. So every little sugar and spice in between. But there are the social links while I go look for a friend to hit up. As always, you never have to follow any of them. They are there if you would like. I'm finishing getting up the Amnesia playthrough before the end of the week. So that should be coming up super soon, and I still need to get a quick look to the TikTok page because I am really hecking bad at that. So copy and paste, and let's go see. Let's go see who's live. I thought I had accidentally clicked something for some reason. There we go. Okay, let me see. Let me get back onto Twitch. Who the heck is live? What friends are around? Loading up. Okay, back to Twitch. There we go. I can sort of see. We have a lot of friends who are still live tonight. Oh my gosh, we have a lot of friends who are live tonight. Gosh darn it. Oh! Wes is playing a game that I absolutely love, that I want to stream. I hecking want to stream this so bad. I just don't own it yet. But I love this game so much. It is, and we'll keep the spooky vibes going. It's called Mortuary Assistant. You literally play as the title. Yeah, you work in a morgue. Yeah, it's very spooky, and you have to work on bodies basically and decide what kind of ghost, demon, whatever is haunting the body, and you gotta get it right and your time, and it's great. I love this game so hecking much. There's multiple endings depending on if you get it right or not, and things to find. I love this game so hecking much, so let's go say hi to Wes and give him love. This is our raid message. There we go. Owls. And if you're not subbed, feel free to use the developers. Otherwise, if you're subbed, feel free to use any of them. I don't know. But I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope the rest of your night is fantastic. I hope your day is kind to you tomorrow. Remember, you are awesome, you are loved, and you are valid. The three most important things. Make sure you're staying hydrated, you're keeping warm and cozy. Remember to turn off the lights for the birds at night because they're in the middle of migrating. I felt like I have to point that out. We're in the middle of migration. Jen would be so happy for me to plug that in. And I'm gonna go finish proofreading the 2024 Chubby Bird calendar for her. But I love you guys. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the spooky game tonight. Remember to check out the developers' itchio pages. Go give support. And we're gonna go have spooky time with West in one of my favorite horror games that, again, one day, it's already one of my favorite horror games, so believe me, it's a good time. Have a good night, guys. I love you all. Bye-bye.